Back when Jay-Z first started Tidal a couple of years ago, a lot of people thought he was crazy. It was like, man, Jay, why don't you just join the other streaming giants and do a partnership deal with him? And then he and his partners, they said, no, we're going to go out on our own thing. This streaming platform is going to be for us. This is going to be our thing, Tidal. The crazy thing about Tidal, when you think about it, the whole platform was built on giving more to the artists, more royalties, exclusive platform for videos and concert streaming, and independent artists having a true platform to deliver their content to, and people find them, podcasts, journalistic information that you can find, just the freedom to be able to watch uncensored content that you won't find on TV, because traditional programming would be afraid of the message, but not Rock Nation, not Jay-Z's team. Tidal is that voice. Tidal is the eyes that display the vision for everybody to see. And that's the great thing about the platform. So when you think about Tidal as a whole in the streaming service, it really is a one-of-one when you look at everything. High fidelity sound. When you subscribe to Tidal and you get their high fidelity sound platform, the quality that comes through your headphones is crazy. Crystal clear. Lossless sound means you don't lose any sound quality at all. The way their videos look on your phone is different. Clear, crisp. The way you can minimize a video and then go search for the content and still see the video playing, I think that's like super cool. But most importantly, the curated video playlist, the curated song playlist, the way that Tidal has integrated celebrities and their messages into the music platform is beautiful. You don't see other streaming platforms really doing that from a culture way in the form of hip hop and what we consider our music, our culture, a multi-billion-dollar industry. We believe Tidal does that extremely well. People, listen, go to Tidal.com, Tidal.com. Just try out the trial, see for yourself. And I guarantee you, a concert, a playlist, a video, you're going to discover dope movies, shout to Tales, shout to a lot of other movie platforms on the network that you're going to be intrigued by. And most importantly, there's a message within Tidal that you need to hear. Go to Tidal.com, people. Back to our scheduled programming. Always dream, hustle, win. Always better yourself. And most importantly, people, it's about results and nohype.com. Peace. This is Jonathan with the $1 Million Mindset Podcast, now syndicated on WTXX Power 104.9 FM in Kokomo, Indiana, representing over 200,000 listeners in the cars and the Jeeps, over 1.5 million listeners globally, worldwide. The $1 Million Mindset was started from a concept of wanting to write about celebrities and Hollywood figures and major players in business and entertainment from a positive point of view. That was never the case. Anytime you normally hear something is always negative or clickbait. The $1 Million Mindset allows you to understand why they got to their position, why they maintain their position, which is so difficult to do. And most importantly, how they are leaving footprints for their legacy. You don't hear that a lot. On the $1 Million Mindset, you always hear that. And that's why our podcast is so intriguing and so different. Today is no different. I'm talking to another magnificent, multifaceted, multi-dynamic, multi-talented producer, actor, film director, entrepreneur, humanitarian, motivational speaker, you name it, he is that. Darrin DeWitt is one of the most prominent figures in Hollywood. And when you look at his IMDb file, it just reads like a resume that won't ever stop. And I'm honored, super honored to have him on the $1 Million Mindset Podcast. Darrin DeWitt, welcome to the $1 Million Mindset Podcast, my friend.
Thank you so much. It's really good to be on.
Well, you know I had to give you that Diddy intro, man, for sure.
He definitely did. And I appreciate it. When people say that, I think it's an honor because that man showed and proved how important it is to work with hearts.
Absolutely. I want to get into it. When you are on set, right, and they say scene, act, and that moment comes on. What is racing through your mind from everything in life? Because in that moment, you are creating. You're at the phoenix, the zenith of your creation mode to make that scene believable. Kind of explain to the audience, man, like how do you create that moment in your mind to produce at a high level?
Well, nothing is in my mind other than the present moment. One of the misconceptions I want to clear up about acting is not acting without being. The word act has the prefix, the word action has the prefix act in it. And so to be active or in action means to be. So you're present. So I'm not. I don't know what other people are thinking, but I'm not thinking about anything other than the present moment of wherever the character is. So that is the place and the space that I hold, wherever the character is mentally, whatever the character is dealing with at that present moment is what is in my mind. And I think people are aware of that when they watch movies or television shows. You've seen good shows, you've seen not so good shows, and you know when somebody is present in the moment because the eye on that camera captures everything. And it captures more than just the physical vision. It captures the emotion of the actor who is either present or who is not.
Well said. Just a great way to elocute that point. Let me ask you a question. When in your career, it could have been super early or later on, like when did you know that this is something that I'm good at and I'm going to pursue? Like what crescendoed that moment for you? Like when did you arrive at that point?
I had no idea about acting because acting wasn't my focus. Acting wasn't in my scope. Dancing was my thing, a form of communication. And so at 5 years old, I knew that dancing was going to be a voice for me. At least it felt like it. And so I followed that voice. I followed that understanding. I followed that feeling. And it subsequently led me to I was doing as a dancer and then as a choreographer. One of the things that I have learned that, when people talk about destiny, you can't arrive at your destiny without choice. Choice and destiny work hand in hand. You have to make choices in order to meet your destiny. The choices that I made as a dancer helped me to arrive at the destiny position as the choreographer that I became. So choices and destiny work hand in hand.
Yeah, and it's kind of amazing. Choices and destinies work hand in hand. Absolutely, because you laid so many critical footprints in the dance world, which brought you to where you are now on a more visible stage as an actor in Hollywood, doing this, doing that, all the different shows that you've done, from Soul Food to just all. Go ahead.
So when it came to acting, I had no idea because the presence of dance was really what I focused on. And I knew that at 5 years old. So I knew dance would show up as a voice for me, a form of communication for me, a way to show up in the world. And I knew that at 5 years old. Dance was the forefront of how I would be seen or heard in the world. And acting didn't come until later. So I knew that the destiny that I was seeking when it came to dance would happen by making choices. And choices and destiny work hand in hand. You have to make choices in order to meet your destiny. And so that came about very, very early on. And I kept making choices that would ultimately lead me to the destiny that I would know as a dancer and then one day as one of the world's greatest choreographers.
Absolutely. Definitely. You've dealt with some of the biggest acts in the world and just killed the game. I want to ask you this. how did your childhood play a role into your championship DNA type mentality that you have now? Can you kind of talk a little bit about how your childhood kind of laid some great seeds to your foundation that you have now? Because you're very strong-willed and minded, a natural born leader.
I appreciate that comment. One of the things that I'm going to say leading into this, and hopefully this helps some brothers and sisters out there, I didn't grow up with my dad. Until I was age 5, he was around, and then he wasn't around again until I was 27. But what I have to say to that, and I'd like to speak some life into this, is that I didn't look at it as a loss. The way I saw it was, he just wasn't in my way, and so I was able to become what I wanted to become without somebody telling me what to do. And so I found it as a form of empowerment. I found it as a way to show up in the world without somebody, pressuring me to become what they wanted me to become. And I was able to fly the way that I chose to. And then ultimately, as Most High would have it, he was reintroduced into my life at age 26 or 27. And we've been best friends ever since. So I held the space of love for him. And when he showed up, as it were, it was a great space and time to reconnect and communicate. And literally from that day on, we were best friends. So it was a sense of empowerment for me. And it was a sense of, for me, there was a space in there going, you may not be around, but I'm going to show up and you're going to see me anyway. But it wasn't out of anger or resentment. It was purely out of, I'm going to show up too. Because my dad is one of the world's famous horse trainers. He's been honored so many times over his life in the racehorsing world, thoroughbred racehorsing. Mm-hmm. And so it gave me an opportunity to say, I'm going to show up like that. Mm-hmm. I'm going to show up as one of the world's greatest. And I was able to do that because I transformed through the alchemy of base metal into gold.
Wow. Let me ask you this. When you think about, because that was a big statement that you made from 5 to 27, and you held that spot of love for him. What helped you to do that? Was it more so, your family around you, or was this telling you, hey, listen, he's not a bad person, but he's not here? Or did you kind of develop your own sense of maturity about the situation that kind of helped you transition to that point?
I think that the information that is provided to us affords us the opportunity to think. So the way that we're programmed, whatever program we receive, assists in how our brain develops. My mother never did that. She never talked bad about it.
Right.
So negative outlook.
Mm-hmm.
Spirituality. She gave me my first Bible when I was a child. And so I had that to lean on and to help develop my mindset about spirituality and about programs, thoughts, actions, and results, about faith and about actions. I mean, it's right there in the Bible. Faith without actions is dead.
Yeah,
and what that simply means is you have to be faithful. When you're faithful, your belief system is strong. And if your belief system is strong, then you'll act upon what you believe. And so to me, that equates to programs, thoughts, actions, and results. The way your mind is programmed is how you think. How you think is how you act. And how you act will determine how you show up in the world.
Absolutely. I want to ask you this, Darrin. How did you transition pain and failure into success during this plight or this flight of journey of destiny that you've been on? Because a lot of people, they see you on TV, you've done all this stuff, you're on TV every year, you've been one of the actors that's been blessed and fortunate to make this a full career and have a lot of success. It doesn't happen that way for everybody else, but that doesn't mean that you haven't had struggles or disappointment or some type of. So, people just see you up and they think about, man, he's on TV. He never had no bad days, no failures. He never hit a roadblock. Even though you've had a lot of success, I know you've had to transition. Talk a little bit about how you've taken some of those dark moments and converted them into light to help keep guiding your path.
I think the answer is in the question. It's about transformation. And so I transform what we would consider to be pain into power. When you look at electricity, it's beautiful, right? When you're able to have the light bulb illuminated, right? But if you stick your finger in that socket, it's going to shock you.
Right.
It's going to tear you up. Well, that's the painful part of the power. So it's the same. It's just on two different systems. So it's polarity at work. It's one of the laws, polarity, right? So I just turn the pain into power. I utilize the actual energy into power before it became painful. So how do you stop, pain before it happens? Well, again, the answer is in the question. You stop it before it happens. You don't stop a moving car at the bottom of the hill. You go on the bridge before it leaves the top of the hill. And so, again, I never saw my dad as a person who was negative or, he wasn't there because it was just, he wasn't getting my way so I can become what I wanted to become. And I think when you choose to give it a meaning, you does.
I like that. When you choose to give it a meaning. I like that. Very powerful. And I like the fact of you transforming pain into power. I like that line you said too. That was important. That's a big statement. For real.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I love that, man. That'll be a great title for your next article that I write. For sure. Definitely.
Or my next book.
Or your next book. I got to get you on that. Let me ask you this. You've been on sets with some powerful people, right? You've been on sets with some of the most biggest names in the game of acting. How have you taken all of those ingredients? How have you taken all of their ingredients of success and kind of added to your own special recipe of acting success? Like, how did all that help you?
I take both sides of it gives me, because you can't take one without the other, because they're all lessons. If you pay attention, everything in life teaches you.
True.
And so my conversations with Michael Jackson, my conversations with Prince, my conversations with Jim Brown, my conversations with Dennis Quaid, Mike Henderson, my conversations with Carl Weber, my conversations with homeless people, my conversations with young men and women that I meet, my conversations with teenagers, conversations with children. I take all of it and I, humble, and I apply it, because there's information, there's light, there's So I listen to the lessons of the people who have lived life longer than me, who have found success before me, who have found wealth before me, and I listen. And even those people who are not here anymore, I read about their autobiographies, and I can read about the mistakes that they've made. And I can move around them. I don't have to climb their walls anymore. I can walk around them because they left the information behind.
Right.
There's an old saying: success leaves clues. Be a detective and put your magnifying glass in the right place.
Definitely. And basically into turning lessons into blessings. Because a lot of people get the lesson, but they don't turn it into a blessing. They just kind of be like, okay, they read and go over it. So, the fact that you are humble enough to even bring up a homeless person in this conversation lets me know that you are acutely aware of your unawareness. A lot of people in life aren't aware of their unawareness, which they get hit from the blind side. But the fact that you have the humility, that means that you're exalted, because you're humble enough, lowliness of mind, to think I can learn from anybody. I can take counsel. I can learn something in this moment, because everybody has a story. It just everybody has a different ending. You know what I'm saying?
Right. We all are on different roads, empowered by intention and so we may all get off at different exits.
True.
But we all are on the same road.
Yep, different X. I like that. We're all on the same road. We just got different X's. Some people exit a little bit further. Some people exit a little bit shorter, sooner. We all on the same road. Right. I want to get into this part. To me, you're like one of the coolest, like, crime bosses on TV. You know, you got the dress, you got the swag, you got the intellect. You know, you got the balance between everything. One of the things that I put in the article was the scene that I was describing. And to me, when that scene happened, when LC actually, you know, you came in, you didn't hesitate. You just took care of business when Grant stalled. And you just took over. At that moment, that's when I said, to me, it was
Harris stalled.
Yeah, Harris, that's right. Yeah, it's Harris Grant, right? Harris Grant. Right, so. Yeah, Harris stalled. And you came in there and said, boom, I put a $200K bounty on the truck. You know what I'm saying? And you just walked out. I'm like, yeah. And because you had on the white shirt with the button collar, I'm like, yeah, he official. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's, you know, when in the role that I play, you have to take action. And because weakness shown your demise. And so because it's our family business, certain go hand in hand. And disloyalty is not tolerated. And weakness can't be tolerated. And again, it could be, you know, it could cost you your life in that war.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know, Harris showed his weakness at that point. And so we knew that not only did he not have the Constitution to do that, that meant that he was weak in areas that were to be seen in the future.
Absolutely. Yeah, because that was a foundational moment, as we say. And that's why, you know, LC was saying, you know, you can't ask a man to kill somebody if you're not willing to do it yourself. And then he gave him that look.
Correct.
He gave him that Ernie look. You know what I'm saying? He gave him that look. Right. He gave him that look. I said, ooh. And then he kind of looked at him like, yeah. And then, you know, you come to find out. But that's what I like about your diversity, because you got the kids outside. I want to take a picture with your car. And then you walk right inside and it's like you know how to transition and flip that switch like all actors do. And then you go into the point where you're in the back of the Bentley and you're talking to your mom about your love life. It's like I look at everything, you know, because I see you going how the script and Carl does a great job of how they take you through different scenes and different moments to show different sides of the family and how everybody has their own dilemma and you're still human. When you're in those moments like that around the actors that you are on the set of Family Business, and your toothpick game is crazy too, just to let you know. I love that signature toothpick. That a lot of people don't pick up on that, but I do. I pick up on that. When you're on that set, describe this experience for you versus the other acting. And I'm saying comparing, but just describe what it's been like on this show. You have so much success and your fan base is organic. I mean, it's supremely organic. Just describe the experience on this set and what it means to you.
Being on the set of the Family Business is truly a blessing because it's a protected bubble that affords an actor the opportunity to drop into character. And what I mean by that is there's no egos on that set. There's elders on the set who come to work and bring the heat. And, you know, when you have a Ernie Hudson or a Pettiford on set, you know they're bringing their A+ game. So it affords you the opportunity to do the same. It helps you to grow. Mm-hmm. And our director, our leader, Trey, you know, allows us to really go there and then he might go, well, give me your interpretation of it. And you know, a lot that will show up on the screen. So it really is a space for creativity, and that means everything to an actor. And Paul will allow you to utilize emotion to communicate the language as well. So it may not be exactly what he wrote at the time. It conveys the same feeling, emotion, mm-hmm. or communication. And that's powerful, because I've been on sets where you have to say exactly what's in the script. And sometimes it doesn't fit communication that could be conveyed. So, that, pure creativity is warranted. So that's a great space to hold.
Definitely. And it shows on screen because nothing looks forced, nothing looks out of place. And most importantly, I love the fact that you don't really know what's going to happen next, which is all good shows. Any good movie, show, or book has to have that type of detail to it, ingredient, because you just never know. And people can't read you. Like, I never would have thought you was going to fire the chemist when you told Harris, like, look, fire her immediately. I'm like, man, he just flipped another script.
Right.
Huh?
Yeah, the way Carl Weber writes is you really don't know what's happening, and sometimes you get the scripts 2 days before you're going to shoot, and so he doesn't allow you to know, and that's great because again, to stay in the moment.
Yeah, stay in the moment.
It's not something that you're sitting with for weeks. It's something that you have to actively feel. Moment to moment is a new moment. So emotions change things. One moment you could be smiling, in life, in real life. And the next moment you could be crying based upon something that's happened in your life. So that, Carl keeps us on our toes by doing that with us and delivering scripts to us, maybe the night before you're going to shoot.
Yeah. The moment of when your guy got killed, your main bodyguard for the family, and you had the body at the gravesite. That was surreal, man. You were locked in for that. You were really locked in for that.
Yeah. I mean, that was the character of Kenny, played by Dennis White.
Yeah, yeah.
And it took me back. It took me, again, as an actor, you have to be. So, yeah, you tell the truth about that moment.
Yeah, that was surreal. You looked locked in. It's almost like the scene when you had that meeting and y'all was going to have that truce. And you was like, look, this don't happen, this gonna happen. Like, you would just, at that moment, it stops. And you kind of moved your head up. You like, it stops.
Yeah.
Now. It was like, you took the power.
You gotta be locked in.
Yeah, you took the power away from any possibility. And then very few people can do that in that moment. You took all the power away from the other person who was talking. Like, look, no, it stopped. This is what's gonna happen. So it's over. This is what we're gonna do. And that was the strength of you being who you are and the CEO of Dunkin' Motors. I want to go into this part here about your businesses. I know you have a lot of inspirational t-shirts and paraphernalia and like merchandise. Talk a little bit about that because it's very interesting. I like your pieces you got up there.
I appreciate that. God Billboard T-shirts is my company, and it represents being a billboard for God. The T-shirts are positive affirmations that people can wear and present to the world to basically and I wanted to do that because, there's so much going on around us. There's so much happening, and it's happening so quickly. So I wanted to afford people to tap into something positive. We pass billboards all the time. We pass McDonald's all the time. We pass, in California you have, legalized marijuana. We pass all of those shops all the time. We pass by Starbucks all the time. Well, millions of people actually see those because they're billboards. Mm-hmm. Well, a shirt is as well. You might pass 100, 1,000 people a day, and that billboard speaks volume. So one of the shirts says, "I am more than enough," and I approve this message.
I saw that. That was dope.
The other shirt said, "I'm a spiritual warrior. I fight." Mm-hmm. The other shirt says, "I'm already validated by the Most High. I don't need you to prove."
Yeah, I saw that one too.
That speak a positive, healthy language, and people feel really good. One of the things which is really beautiful, and I'm humbled by that, interview with a person, and they wear them or they send them out, and it's a beautiful thing because it presents a message to the people who they interview, that person being me, to show that they want to be a part of the powerful affirmative movement.
Yes.
And so, it goes into the space and place of each one teach one, then we can reach. you know, and I love that. The whole staircase, just one step at a time. And so that to me is the same thing. Each one teach one, we can reach one. So those shirts are billboards, positivity, affirmations. It's a your space in this world. It's affirming you're important. It's not saying, you know, I'm asking you to say I matter. I know I matter. I'm affirming it. I'm saying, and I'm letting you know I'm saying it. I'm letting you know that I know that. And when people see that and awareness comes, and awareness happens that says, I too am more than enough. I too am validated. I too am important. I too think this way, but I share this with you. So something that, you know, Spirit gave me, and I started the company last year, and we're doing very well, and we're spreading the message of affirmations.
Is it just t-shirts, or do you have hats? Do you have hoodies or accessories? Kind of give us a rundown of what's available.
We started off with t-shirts. We also have books. My book is on the website, God's Billboard T-shirts. So something the Spirit change it there. My book, That the Truth, will be there in about a month on that platform. We will have hoodies this summer. So we're going to do what we know best, which is t-shirts, hoodies, and books.
Got it.
Right now, presently, you can get the book and the t-shirts. This summer, we're going to add more books and hoodies.
I like
that's
the book.
Space that we're going to hold.
Yeah.
Yes,
the
sir.
book. Yeah. The books. Information is always powerful. I like that. So we could just go to your link in your bio on Instagram and then just purchase it from there.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. We're going to do that.
That's the easiest way.
Yeah, I'll get Patience J. I'll get her. She's our SVP. Going to order a couple of shirts, and we're going to send some out. We have some artists that are urban inspirational, and we got different people that definitely just would love that. We got several artists in that space, so that's dope. Thank you for taking the time. I know your schedule is crazy. I do want to ask you this. When you think about your legacy and you think about your company, your company we were just discussing, and you think of everything you've accomplished since the day you were thrust into this world out of your mother's womb, how do you feel about everything when you look in the mirror in 2021, February the 20th? What do you see in yourself when you look in the mirror? Nobody around, just you. It's quiet, no family, no agent, no nothing. Just you. Like, what do you see in yourself in 2021?
I give thanks for being here. I give thanks to the Most High for allowing me to do what I do and be a bridge for other people so they can live out their dream. And I'm thankful that I can do what I do and enjoy it in the moment and be an inspiration to other people. I see how, in the way that we get to feel and celebrate that feeling, that emotion of saying, I did it, I can do it, or I dreamed about that and it happened. But at the same time that God is allowing you to feel that, He's also allowing somebody else to be inspired. So we're just all stepping, ladders, right? We're
right.
Steps for each other to continue going, and I did that. I did that. And I'm thankful to the Most High for allowing me to experience it. I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for having the beautiful experience. I'm thankful for the people that I've met. I'm thankful for my wife. I'm thankful for, the dogs that have been.
For sure.
I'm thankful. I am. I'm thankful for the hardships that I went to. And when I say dogs, I mean actual animals.
I know. That's why I'm laughing. I'm agreeing with you. Yeah.
They brought much love to my life. I'm thankful for my children. I'm thankful for even the failed, because they taught me so much. I'm thankful for both sides of the coin that I've experienced, because it allowed me to be where I am today, and where I am right now in this present moment is sharing with you. Had I not experienced all those things, I would be on with you right now, bringing this information to the people, to the masses.
Definitely.
I want them to know.
Well, listen, you inspired.
The space that I hold.
Right, but you also got to recognize you inspired people, because think about this. Think about how it played out. Somebody watches you on TV. I happen to be, an executive at a company, radio pushers and Power 104.9 FM. But I said, I'm a writer by trade. So I'm going to sit down, study this guy, watch this guy over and over and over again, craft together a dope. I'm on a night out celebrating with my friends in South Beach, and I say, I'm going to write about you. You know what I'm saying? So how did you feel about that article how did you feel about that article when you saw it at the top? Did you kind of understand where I was going when you read the beginning?
Yeah, I was like, wow. I was so honored. I am honored because, wow, somebody took the time to think about, to write what you wrote. It just, I have to say, I give thanks because, you took the time to look into me.
Yes.
Yeah, and it just, sometimes it renders me speechless.
But I thank you from 5 to 27, because what if you would have gave up hope? What if you would have been mad at your pops? What if you would have never done what you did? It wouldn't be here. What if what if the people around you, the women in your life, didn't do what they did? We wouldn't be here. So I think all of that, because it took all of that. Same thing Malik Yoba and I were talking. Same thing Joseph Sikora and I were talking about when he was talking about power. He was like, man, people don't realize this moment almost didn't make this moment happen. So I thank you for staying on the track, because there's a purpose in all of us. But the difference is you activated yours. Whatever it was, it got you here. Dancing, cool. Created some other steps, cool. Like you said, consequences and action and options and destiny go hand in hand. But when I was in that moment with my friends and we had Fontainebleau and we turning up, we turning on family business. And we got Trick Daddy restaurant food everywhere. We just having a good time. And I'm thinking about you on the private patio. We in 5,000 square feet. But I'm thinking about you. Wow. because you inspired me to do it, because everybody got the TVs on saying, yo, this show crazy. Oh man, this show been all this time? I'm like, yeah, y'all slipping. Boom, 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 boom. And then everybody into it, and we just chilling, because that's what we do. We rent out a big suite. Yes, we go out there and have a good time, because we all got the same mentality as you. So I want to just thank you for inspiring me, because it's a humbling thing for me, because it's an honor to write about you. Believe that. And that wasn't no one day thing. That thing took weeks to come together. And then when I was in that moment, like acting, it just crescendo. I was able to put everything together, because everybody knows that I'm writing. Oh, Jay over there writing. He writing. I get an ace of spade. We pouring. I set the scene. I set the scene so you could be like, oh, okay, it was doing all that. And then I get into you, sir. Because this big screen is on. We got 60-inch TVs all throughout. And we just, boom, and we looking over the Intercoastal Highway. We looking over Biscayne Bay. And here you are, right. And we watching season 1, season 2, and and just everything. I said, look at my guy over there, man. We hope he get his son, man. You know what I'm saying? Like Ruby, stop tripping. Hey Rio, man. Tell Rio he and I got to talk. Rio slipping.
Definitely.
Tell Rio.
I'll get you on with him.
Yeah, tell Rio. Don't forget what Uncle Lou told you in season 1 when he said you better not tell nobody. and you was like, Uncle Lou, I swear. I won't tell nobody. So tell Rio, hey, he playing a dangerous game. I got a feel it's gonna be a casualty. Tell Rio he playing a dangerous game. Man,
it's some stuff in season 3, man. I ain't gonna give no spoilers.
Don't do it, please. We don't want it. We don't want it. We want to see it. We want to see it.
3 is a
yeah.
Carl Weber is just amazing. He's a genius.
Got it. Give out your website again for your shirts before you get out of there, so everybody can go to it. And we're going to order some shirts today too, by the way. So you'll see that order come in just on the love, man. What's your website again so everybody can go to it?
The website is godbillboardtshirts.com. godbillboardtshirts.com.
All right. And your social media for you, how can people reach you on Instagram? What's your Instagram handle?
My Instagram is I am Darrin D. Henson, and that's with the blue check. It's subscribers on there. There's a lot of copycats. Mine has the 250,000 with the blue check.
Yeah, I know it's a lot of copy. I saw that too. Definitely. What have you enjoyed the most about being on the $1 Million Mindset podcast today, my brother?
Man, talking about talking about as you are, but you can't stay as you are. Talking about how we can turn thoughts into things and power into pain. That's powerful just within itself to talk about. And if I can surmise it, we're talking about vision here. But your vision will pull you through.
Right.
And that's powerful.
Definitely. Well, it's been an honor having you on, man. I'm going to let you get back to your day. Tell LC, tell your brother, tell everybody. I want them on the show, man. I want to get them on because we're going to keep promoting this thing. And the magazine dropping on Monday is going to be crazy. I'm glad you like the cover, man.
I love it. And if you put the hard copy, I want.
Yeah, definitely. And like we pulled multiple images to get to that. We pulled multiple images to get to that one image because I wanted to show different pictures of you because Google's like thousands of pictures of you. So we wanted to pick the ones that like represent. But that one when you in the back of the Bentley, when you was hollering at when you was hollering at Junior, telling him he should have had stuff on the boat by now. That was
like, come on, man, let's get back to business, man.
Yeah, you was like you would have been on the boat by now. He was like, come on, no, you ain't slipping. Right. But that picture, I was like, yeah, grab that one because that was when he was there.
Man, I'm gonna tell Carl Weber how much. And if I can get you on with Carl, I'm going to get you.
Yeah, man. Wait till you read the article on Monday because the article is going to go up on Monday and we're going to give you the link to it, the cover and everything. So, definitely, awesome. Man. Like I know you're going to make it happen. Appreciate you. You enjoy the rest of the day. I'll be getting up with you in 48, 72 hours, man. Thank you so much, people. Darrin DeWitt on the $1 Million Mindset podcast. Appreciate you, King.
God bless you. Bless.
Right. Another one.